Hi everybody, welcome to the channel for a new battle report. We are starting a new tournament, courtesy of our Spanish friend, Super Orco, Gondizalbo, Erkenork. So thanks to them, really nice to get a new tournament going on. We were playing against a Spanish team and I was paired against Eydrian, who was playing Vampire Covenant. My list for this first round is this one. Didn't change much. I went back from the slave, which I didn't like, for the bigger block of vassal levies with bow, and the rest remained pretty much the same. Instead, also wanted to try out the incarnate instead of the second chariot. Made a little switch with the magic. Yeah, I made some change actually. I went back to the double adept to compare again with the master pyro. I think both are fine, but I want to try that out again. And the rest remains the same. But yeah, that's the three changes. Eydrian was playing the following, which I think is a pretty classic list for Vampire Covenant at the moment, because playing around the triple raise, triple banshee, I think that's really the standard list for Vampire this year. And around that you have a satellite unit, especially cavalry, which are taking the box for Season Pack 2 dynamic scoring unit. You heard me talking about that long enough. But basically, yeah, tons of scoring, mobile scoring, that's definitely the trend for the season pack this year. That's what we are going to see in most lists, most armies. So no big surprise here. You see 3 block of skellies that are going to raise heavily. He has 3 aura raise with the necromancer, so it's pretty crazy. You have 1 mage, but you have 3 times the same spell basically. Then we have the double barrel king with the Barrow Knight, small gas, small vampire knight, Warhall, and zombies as bunker. We were playing secure targets and end cycle for this first round. Yeah, the primary secure target I think is going to be disputed. He has a lot of scoring unit and more ability than me to play wide, because he doesn't have to care about leadership bubble. So yeah, I think disputed about primary. Secondary, he won the roll for side, he was the defender, and he got conserve the number, which is the auto win. You heard me saying that enough, but I'm going to say it more. Infernal Dwarves slay the beast. I need to get Gast or Varkolak. Doable but not easy. Pass to victory. For me, avoid dangerous combat versus big unit. Set up good counters to avoid those combats. I know that in most of the case, if you engage, like the Bastion is going to get stuck, and if I get a good counter charge, it's dangerous for him. So I have to propose him those kind of dangerous combat with the first thing that he might hit will be something resilient / with Infernal Brand, aka stubborn first round, and then good counter charge. And if I set up those kind of things, it might be dangerous for him. And play for the primary, obviously. For him, engage and push with the large block, set up counters, board control overall. I think set up pretty central, get control of the board. My range damage doesn't do much to Vampire Covenant. Very important first roll, you will see. You have a hint about it, who is the secondary obviously. And overall I felt the matchup was negative for me. Why is that so? Because I don't have much potential against Vampire Covenant. He raises, so my range damage doesn't do that much. And those big block mean, yeah, it's hard to get good map control. So it's not horrendous. It's hard for him to engage me, it's hard for him to crush me. But I don't see much potential for the win, basically. And I don't see much potential to get good board control because of the size of the big block that he has in core. So I think that's just the way the matchup is, basically. Okay, deployment wise, let's talk about the map. You see this map, I mean, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. You have the 2 second target facing almost an impassable. You have 2 lake to basically block flaming attack and pyromancy. So this first roll was obviously very important here. He won that one, so he got conserve the numbers. He gave me the 2 impassable in front of the secure. And he got the 2 lakes, so I was not starting the game well, because I was thinking the matchup is hard and the setup is even harder. I think the hardest that I could have got map wise. So okay, let's focus again. always an interesting exercise when you get this kind of situation where you think, this is going to be a hard match. This is going to be a very hard match, but let's fight for it. Let's refocus. Let's make the best out of it. So we exchange drop. I drop Vizier on the right. He drops something. I drop Lamassu in the center. And then he thinks, I don't have so many drops and I want to get map control, put him under pressure. So he drops everything for the first turn. He gets, as we could expect, the 3 skeleton units in front of the zombies, all of them close together to take advantage from the regen and the aura rays and so on. That's the way it works. You know that with this list, they're going to be somewhere on the map, this type of configuration. And then the satellite unit around. So he gets the Ghast on the right together with Vampire Knight, the 2 Barrow Knight on the left and the Varkolak inside the lake. That's the way he's set up. So remember, I only put my 2 flyers. So I consider, okay, I want to give him choice. I want to give him not an easy game, not easy choice to make. And I want to play for both objectives, because I don't want to give one easy for free, and also considering the resilience of Vampire Covenant, I have no illusion whatsoever that I might be able to completely swarm one of the objectives to make it impossible for him to come close to it. The good news here for me, I'm playing second, which is obviously a bit better for the management of the secondary, of the primary. So what I identify, his big block in the middle, so my vassal levies go opposite on the left, because basically they are not so good against 50-man skeletons, but they are really good against cavalry that have only 2 ranks. So I'm thinking levies can pretty good control this spot. I give them a support which is Kadim Incarnate. I'm not going to realize soon enough, because it's the first time I play Kadim Incarnate for a long time, but actually he got agility for on the charge, so he's striking at the same time, and if my Incarnate goes same time than him with 8 grind reroll to wound, whoa, he has no chance, So I'm actually not fearing at all the charge, which I'm going to realize only mid-game. Then I go with Lugar close to levies with the mage in the middle to be able to target his infantry, and my Bastion is going to be the first thing that he might reach with his infantry. So that's the plan here. Bastion can play a bit with the wall. Lamassu in the center, and on the far right, you see this small zone. I'm still able to exploit it. So I go with Chariot, Lugars in the back, and then I place my rocket battery, which might be controversial. You might think, wow, that's a very strange deployment for a rocket battery, because, I mean, you have a house in front of you, so you're not able to target a lot. But my thought process is, with the line of sight here, I'm targeting the 2 units that are the most interesting for the rocket battery, which are multi-wound gas / secondary and multi-wound vampire knight. So I'm thinking this should help me to get control of those 2 units and basically take a strong position with Lugar plus Bull plus Chariot, and my idea is Lugar plus Bull plus Chariot is able to deal with a large unit of skeleton and even something else. So that's the plan. And then if he really wants to overcome my right flank, he might have to send the 2nd infantry, and then if he does something like that, he has to come with the other unit, and this might be overwhelming my right flank. Sure, he might be able to win the right flank, but then he won't have enough to overwhelm me on the left, and I should be able to push hard on the left. And it could go that way. I can still try to get away with the Lugars. I mean, they can turn around, move through the impassable. The rest is light troops. So I was thinking, even if I see him coming with large infantry block towards the house, it might be not so easy to catch me, because I can play a bit cat and mouse, and yeah, he might get the rocket battery and maybe something else, but that may take all game long, first of all, and I might be able to escape even, because the Lugars turn around 1 turn, then 12, might be able to go away or to hide and waste him time, and during that time I could be able to push hard and take more points. So I was thinking, okay, let's try that out. He's not that mobile enough to really take advantage from split forces. That was my idea. Okay, enough about deployment, but I think that was pretty interesting. My opponent made a very wise choice. He plays the secondary where I give him the 2 Lamassu token on the unit, obviously in front of the lake. He's just going to stand in those lake all game long to avoid me taking advantage of flaming attack. So he's turn 1. Yeah, he starts to make a choice. The Banshee jump over the right, thinking the Banshee, also my thought process was let's split the Lugars, because the Banshee are good against the Lugars. They cannot be on both flanks. So if the Banshee go on the right to manage my Lugars on the right, they are not going to be on the left, and then full unit of Lugars is hard to manage for him. So the Banshee jump on the right, he push a bit on the right, here move a bit here, the Ghast move forward, they go back outside of the rocket battery, and on the left, for some reason, he go out of the lake, but then he will go back again. I think here he need to stay within the lake to not get me reroll to wound on the fireball, but there is only the fireball early on, so maybe that was his reasoning. But I think he would have just stayed within the lake. Yeah, the cavalry just move around, so he's going to stall my advance on the left, maybe try to steal the primary, and on the right try to manage me as well, but then he need also to push his infantry to support somehow. So he has choice to make. I want him to play on both flanks and to kind of spread his line and give him hard choice to make. Then the magic might be also hard to use, because one thing to consider with his setup is he's very good at buffing and raising in short range, in 6 inch. But further than that, not really. Has only 1 raise that can go further than 6. So that could be a weakness I could exploit. In the magic phase, I dispel a raise, he get a second raise, I dispel the creation, and he get another raise on 2 dice, and you will see he's already like kind of doubling the unit size. I mean, it's crazy how fast it goes. Like, poof, whoa, so many skeletons and zombies more. My turn 1. Push hard on the left with the Lugars, push the Bastion, move a bit forward with magic, start to push on the left. I need to bring the Lamassu here for leadership purposes, because I'm still a bit far away of the other dwarfs because of this nasty impassable, so I'm bringing my Lamassu. I need to wait until he's here to really push forward with the Vassal Levies. Pushing the Incarnate, but I should have pushed much more. I didn't realize that this combat was totally okay. I think the Incarnate could have gone full speed. Here 12, zoning everything, should have been much better. On the far right, I'm starting to bring the Bull towards the middle. You see, I mean, we have these 2 zones with scoring. I want to bring some activity here in the middle to force him even harder choice. And maybe if the Bull can go into sweet spot, that could be annoying for him. Move the chart forward a bit. I still respecting that, not giving him any Banshee, thinking if you push hard here, then I can turn around, try to go away and let you push with your Banshee into a corner that's hard to reach. My magic phase, I get Fireball into the Varkolak, which got Dispel. 3 dice, he only uses 2 dice and Dispel me. That was definitely the best spell I'm going to get all game long, because that was 2d3, reroll to wound, he got no regen, so I could have gotten very lucky here if that goes through, but he took some risk but still Dispel it. I got Hereditary instead on this cavalry, meaning he's going to get double token on turn 1, and even harder for him to engage me. Rocket Battery did nothing to the Ghast, and I get a token on the skeletons. This is the Rocket Battery against the Ghast. Under regen 5, I'm thinking now that he was probably within 6, and I think probably under regen 4, which make the odds a bit harder, a bit worse than what I'm displaying here, as long as he's within the range of the Cadaver Wagon, if I'm not mistaken. His turn 2. He jump again with the Banshee, because he thinks, okay, I'm going to need the Banshee to push on the left. And the big block on the right might be able to fight alone with the support of the Ghast and the Vampire Knight, which is a totally good deduction, because, I mean, if without the Banshee on the right, it's harder for him to push, but without the Banshee on the left, it's even harder for him to try to go for that left point. Because the cavalry alone, I think he realized that cavalries are not going to be able to come near to that. As long as I have levies and Lugars, it's going to be way too hard. So he needs those Banshee to really activate the left flank. So that's why he has to jump. But again, this ping-pong jumping lost him a little bit of time. He pushes the big block a bit, pushes this one a little, move the Ghast and so on, and go with the Varkolak inside the water, where I'm not going to be able to achieve much, let's be honest. Magic phase, I get a raise, I get a creation on 3 dice against my 4 dice, which is not going to matter much. It's going to create here unit, but then I should have kept my dice for Ice and Fire. It's going to get Ice and Fire and kill 4 precious Lugar. So I think definitely here dispelling mistake from my side. My turn 2. Yeah, move a bit the Bastion, keep the Lugar where they are, move the magic, continue to push the Lamassu to get closer to those guys. Didn't move much, start to push a bit on the right to get ready for turn 3, get into solid position. Still thinking, as long as I have those 3, it's very hard for him to overcome it. Because if those 3 get together, even 50 skeletons, that can be dangerous for him. If I get hot dice, that can be very dangerous. So we will see. In the magic phase, I get Pyro Flow on the Varkolak, but yeah, wounding on 5, not rerolling because he's immune to flaming attack. And therefore, yeah, nothing is flaming, so he still get the regen, I don't get the reroll. I only do 1 wound. He dispelled a fireball, Bastion does 1 wound on the skeletons. I gave him 2 of the token, I shoot again on the Ghast. I think he's still within 6, or maybe not, but I still do nothing on the Ghast with the rocket battery. Obviously very hard to hurt them. 4+, 3+, he got the regen, very annoying. That's nothing, that's just a simulation of what he could do. I wanted to cover the Banshee exit with the bull, basically. He's turn 3. Okay, he starts to activate properly. He realizes he can push the skeleton block, jump the Banshee inside and scream at the Lugars, which is probably a mistake for me. I could have probably put the Lugar a bit more back to avoid that move on turn 3. I think so. So yeah, I wanted to claim some board control, but he gets nice opportunity to scream at the Lugars and do a ton of damage, and I cannot really punish that. The charge of the Bastion is not something I really want into 50 skeletons. He gets plenty of counter charge set up, so there is nothing here really to punish that aggression for him. So interesting. He gets the block to set up and push me. Here he starts to move a bit forward the satellite unit, but still respect my chariot. And nothing crazy, here you see the created unit. In the magic phase, he's going to get Cosmic Scale on the Eldritch Might / Banshee unit. I dispel a raise. He got +3 offensive on the second unit to avoid any dangerous combat. And with the shooting, he killed 5 Lugars. So yeah, that's a second mistake that cost me now half the unit of my Lugars. 2 small micro mistakes that cost me half the unit, and that's damaging, obviously. So yeah, right now Vampire looking quite good because they're starting to push towards me. They get in control of the right point, but they were not able to get anything near 6 of the left point. Meaning it's the opportunity for me to claim a first point that is going to be important. So what I do, I reposition my Lugars, stay within 6. I get the Bastion to chaff both units, telling him, if you charge me, I have the Lugar as a counter charge, I have the Bull as a counter charge. That's going to be dangerous for you. That's going to be dangerous for you. You're going to be stuck for a while. The Bastion is not so enjoyable to fight because it's very resilient, it's going to last long, and you're going to be stuck. So we'll see what you do. I push my Lugar within 6, so I'm going to get the first point. I set up Chariot as a counter charger in the flank. My Bull gets into better positioning, so he has 40 something skeletons. If he charges my Lugar, it's going to kill some, but not much, like 4 or 5. I'm going to kill a bunch, and then I'm going to counter charge with my Chariot. He could still be here and counter charge me, it's a possibility. But that's not so sure. That could be also for him a very dangerous fight, because then I'm going to reform a bit wider, and if I roll hot, it's charged, it's a flank, it's a lot of impact and attack from the Chariot. That could be a bit dangerous for him. So we will see. Yeah, that's it. On the left, I reform my Incarnate, didn't push enough. Like I said, I think I should have pushed earlier. Now I'm just getting a good counter charge. I'm going to push more from the next turn, I think, but I start to realize that it's okay to take 1 charge here. So I give him a charge that's doable. I realize that he cannot really do anything. Should have stayed 4 wide. That being said, I think I wanted to be really in the flank, but it's better 4 wide because I get all grinds, basically. So something to keep in mind. Magic phase. I get Dragon Roar into the Bastion, thinking, okay, it's even harder for him to engage me. Fireball onto the Varkolak does nothing. The Bastion, I kill like 11 skeleton plus 6 from Dragon Roar, reroll to wound. So I hurt heavily the strongest unit, which is the Banshee Banner of Eldritch Might unit. Rocket Battery, I change target. I kill one of the Vampire Knight, which is much better target for me. End of turn, I get the first point for the primary, which is good. His turn. He pushes the Skellies and prepares some counter charge. Move forward also with the Vampire Knight. So he prepares some counter charge and start to activate towards me. He chaff me in the front. He's going to turn a bit around to be in the front of my Bastion, obviously. Pushes again with the Banshee to scream at me and come closer. Now he's within 6. So he's within 6 of the left. Okay, all good. Pushes here to support, and the cavalry move a bit forward, but they are still out of charge range for me. Okay, in the magic phase, he gets Cosmic Scale on the Eldritch Might unit, and then 4 dice against 5, he gets an Arise. Which was quite important because you see the Eldritch Might unit, there is not so many skeleton left. Not so many. And you saw the turn before, I mean Bastion plus Dragon Roar. It hurts, and he has another token for my shooting, so yeah, it hurts definitely. I can kill like 15-20 if I get a spell plus the shooting, in short range even. Yeah, then there couldn't be much of them left, so I was thinking, okay, that could be very interesting for me. But he get Arise 4 dice against 4, and the Banshee go to town on my Lugars. They kill 9 Lugars. Wow, that hurts. I have 2 Lugars left, so 2 shooting phase. He got a total of 14 Lugars left, killed, so whoa, that was very impressive. My turn 4. I don't charge. I get here a bit wider because I realize that's even a better combat for me. I get the bull in a very nice spot where I'm able to counter charge here and to counter charge here in the back. So now there is no way the skeleton can engage me, because if they go in my front, they get boom, flank and back. And then he's pretty sure to just pop, so he cannot charge me anymore. All good. My Bastion chaff this unit, the Lugars chaff the other unit, and I start to score with those guys because the Lamasu is close to them. From the miscast I got this one, but doesn't matter, and I keep my Incarnate as counter charger, and I'm continuing to do some magic. So for now, so bad, so long, so good, like we say. In the magic phase, I get Pyroflow, kill 6 skeletons, kill some more with the bow, kill like 7 with the Bastion, get a Dragon Roar, kills more 3. So yeah, I do some damage on the skeletons, which is going to help, and avoid him to really stick me. I think I put everything in this unit to reduce the risk that he just charge me to stick me long enough. So if I just do enough, then he cannot really charge me because he might lose, then get counter charge and really pop. So that was, I think, the idea. Or maybe I went at this, guys, I'm not sure where I did go. I wasn't too afraid of the combat with a big block of skeletons, without character, without Eldritch Might. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be stuck, but so he's going to be stuck as well. So we will see. His turn 5, so we draw the primary this turn, because we both got the 2 point. His turn 5. He doesn't charge me, surprised me a bit on the left, I'm going to be honest, because he's playing a dice game here. He has a 10% chance of not killing the 2 remaining Lugars with the 2 benches. And if he doesn't, I'm going to chaff again, and that's just the end of the game for this unit. So I thought it was a bit risky. Instead of charging me, he go out to threaten this unit, all good. Yeah, pushes a bit on the left, but still respect the big units of levies and also the Incarnate. On the left, like I said, he cannot charge me, so just went in front and chaff me. Move around very smartly, hide his Vampire Knight inside the Ghast. I cannot target them again. Should have shot all game long at the Ghast, let's be honest, that's the secondary. Obviously, he could have turned around at some point and raised the Ghast, but still, I mean, that's Ghast out of the game if he does that, which is still interesting for me. Anyway, in the magic phase, he gets Cosmic Scale on Skeleton, he gets a Rise, he gets a Rise through my dice, and the Banshee, they exactly kill my 2 Lugars, and they kill some levies as well. Exactly did the 2 wounds, so that was close. My turn 5, so now, keep in mind, I'm 1 up on the primary. I need to find a way to secure the primary. That's my focus. I lost the Luger unit. I took nothing right now. The primary, for the moment, I have an advantage. So I need to make sure I can maintain that advantage until the end of the game. So what I do, I charge with the bull into the flank of the skellies just to block them. That's just my aim, which allows me to turn around with the bastion and also push the levies to make sure that I get 3 units. I'm going also to change the position of the mage to see this guy. But basically I want to be sure that I have 3 units that can go for the point on turn 6. I want to be sure I see that he has a charge here on the 4. If he makes that, he could get through my vassal levies, so that's a bit dangerous. So I want to be sure that even if he makes that charge, I can just go with the bastion and score. So he could take points, obviously, but I would still score and win the primary, which is here my main target. So that's going to be the idea. I turn around, I make sure he cannot charge here through, I have a counter-charge setup and so on. That's the idea. Here I chaff him again, 7 wide, so it's even harder for him to engage. If he engages, I can counter-charge with the chariot, so he's not going to come. Basically, we're both happy to score here on the right. In the magic phase, I'm going to get Pyro Flow on the Banshee, kill him, so that's point. I fail the fireball on 2 dice, he dispel Dragon Roar. Close shooting, I kill 8 with the Bastion in short range inside the skeletons. Rocket Battery, finally do 2 wounds to the Ghast. And the close combat, I do 4 wounds, he does nothing to me with 4 attacks. And he managed to make the reform to turn around and face me, which was quite important. End of the turn, I'm still scoring on the left, scoring on the right, so does he, so we are still a 1-up. Turn 6. He starts to look at it and sees that even if he, his only play would be, he cannot charge with the big block inside here, because if he does that, he cannot stop my Bastion from scoring. So the only way he could try something is send a Banshee here, send another Banshee here, charge with something and break me. But we are talking about a 9 rollable check from the Vassal Levies. And then I can just take everything and win big. So you see that there is no way of him to reclaim the primary. So that's primary lost. He's going to go into a point save. So he goes a bit back with everything. Doesn't charge me. He is going to try to get that. In the magic phase, he gets, I dispel Cosmic Scale on the skeletons, obviously. He's going to get +3 offensive into the combat. He fail a raise on 2 dice. And that's it. Banshee do 3 wounds to the Standard Guard, which doesn't matter. And the close combat, we go like that, and the skeleton managed to do 3 wounds to me. I went quite good in return, and we managed to tie the combat. So at least it's a tie, I don't have to check, but I have only 2 wounds left, so I might give away half point of the Vizier, which is a bit annoying, obviously. My last turn, I charge with both on the right. Thinking, I made some calculation, and Lugas, 21 attack, 3 up, 2 up, Chariot, D6 +1, 2 grind, 4 attack from Lugas, 2 attack from the Chariot. Thinking, if I roll average plus, I could get half point. Or even better. Push the Incarnate to get into Breast Weapon. Here trying to target the Varkolak, obviously with the magic, and nothing else. Magic phase, Pyro Flow, Varkolak, 1 wound. Yeah, thanks to the water. Dragon Roar, 4 dice against 5, he dispel. Bastion, kill some skellies, doesn't matter. The Bull is not going to suffer any wounds, so this time he rolls the 40% to do nothing to me, which helps, and I do some wounds, so I win, but nothing happens. And on the right, I roll 17 wounds. He did 4. I think, he popped by another 13. He had 20 guys, 20 skeleton left, I recall. 20 at the end of combat. So 28 starting. Yeah, if I do something more in this bracket, around the 23, 24, which is in the top percentage, I could have got half point here. I didn't get them, it's fair, but it was definitely worth a try. But I'm not going to get more points from here, and that's how we are going to end up. Which makes it Banshee for me, Lugas for him, primary for me, obviously, the secure target. He wins the secondary, can't save the numbers, auto win, and it's 11-9, which is a good result for Infernal Dwarves in this matchup, which didn't start well. We got a very bad setup, not a good matchup. lost the first roll, and despite that, I found a good counter deployment, and I was able to focus on the primary and never let that go. I think here the difficulty for VC, they never had a clear push pass due to the choice to make. I gave him fights that were risky enough to not let him really go into them. He could have tried at some point some combat. We could debate about that. I mean, the choice to try to lock me with the Skellies was a decent one. I could have tried that. He chose to play safely, and at the end could have got a bit more points of my bull and get something close to a 10. Maybe he was happy with that. But yeah, there was no easy really combat to take for him. All of them were really okay. You can try to engage, but then you get counter charge. Depends what happens. Can be dangerous. You're a bit far from your magic if you do that. I was able really to play on that relative weakness. Is it really a weakness? But the opportunity of making harder for the skeleton block to fight far away from the cadaver wagon because of the regen, not only because I have a lot of flaming attack, but mainly away from the arise, which makes any engagement dangerous because then you got only one chance to really raise, and also harder to buff if you consider right flank. I think one regret is with the rocket battery not focusing all game long on the gas. That being said, I don't think I could have really get the secondary. I had a small chance on the last turn because I forgot to talk about that, but I did do six wounds. I make all of them and then 3 wounds, and then he has 3 to take on 5 up. If he failed all 3, I would have taken secondary and half the ghast, which would have been very, very lucky for me. Let's be honest. He saved 1, so I don't take half point, I don't take secondary. But yeah, that made me think if I have shoot earlier on them, I could have got maybe an opportunity to get something out of the shooting phase here. And maybe force the gas to move away and make my situation on the right flank even better. So I think, yeah, I shot 2 turns at them, did nothing, and then I was like, there is no point shooting at them, let's target the Vampire Knight. But that didn't bring also anything for me. Anyway, then, yeah, I think also important to keep in mind, turn 5, I thought long and hard about how can I max my chance to secure the primary, which was the most important. Turn around the Bastion, take the risk to sacrifice potentially my Vizier, but to focus on the primary and make sure that no matter what, I'm going to get that primary on the left, and there is no way for him to counter that. And that was the main priority here. Yeah, Incarnate were effective on the left flank. I would have liked to identify sooner that they had such a good matchup against the Vampire, the Black Knight, because I could have really pushed really hard with those guys turn 1 and start to force him push back, and maybe even made an attempt to push back the Varkolak from the lake. Maybe. Vassal with rank were very precious on the left. And I think about the rocket battery position, we can also think, okay, you didn't achieve anything on the right, so was it worth it to deploy on the right? I was a bit afraid if I deploy it in the center that he find a way to push at the rocket and put too much pressure on it. That was a bit what I was afraid of, that he could also get a range on his magic missile to kill the rocket. So I was thinking, let's protect it on the flank and put some pressure on important unit instead as putting it in the middle, which can be always discussed. But yeah, the Vassal Levy is very important, especially to keep that left token. We saw, I think, good in identifying what they want to fight, what they don't want to fight, and in that case they didn't want to fight. Against infantry they wanted to fight cavalry, and that worked pretty well for me. Anyway, that's all for this battle report. I hope you liked it. Thanks a lot to my opponent for the game, and talk to you soon on the channel for other games. Goodbye, take care.